Afternoon guys, it's Nia here. So I've decided to do a bit of a mini series on the channel now, and we're going to concentrate a little bit on card making. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of how I put a card together. Now I'm doing this card for the I'm on the design team for Scrapper's Delight, and this is a card to obviously show off one of their stamps. So I have already coloured this particular lady stamp, but this is just a blank one for you to see what you get when you purchase it. So you purchase the stamp off the website, then you can resize, do what you want with it, make it as big or as small as you like, print it out onto your favourite paper, and then you can colour it any way that you like to go with your theme of what you're doing. So I will show you the one I've coloured. So this is the one I've coloured. So I've coloured her using the Prismacolor Scholar pencils, just to give a little bit of a, I wanted to give her quite a pale sort of pastel-y sort of a bit of a theme for this, to go with the card I've decided to do. So I've basically, all I've done is I've resized her, cut her out, coloured her in with the pencils, and that's as far as we've got. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically, I've picked all the bits out that obviously that I want to use for the card, but obviously you'll get your own bits and bobs out and you'll pick out what you want. But it's literally, I find with making cards, it's just a little bit of playing around. It's the same with colouring, it's just playing around, finding what you like and just going with it. I will show you now. I'm just going to fiddle a little bit with the lightness before I carry on, actually, because it's a little bit pale, isn't it? That is much better. Right, so there we are, that's better. So what I've decided is I've gone with a little bit of sort of a pastel-y, purpley theme, little bits of pink in there as well, because obviously it's like my favourite colours. So I've done her like that, and then I've cut her out with a paper cutter, and then what I've done is I've rounded off the edges, because you can either do that by hand, or you can get specific little, you can actually get specific like little cutters that can round the edges off for you. So either way, you can do it either way, whichever way you prefer to do it. Okay, so I'll take her out the way for a minute and we'll go through each layer of the card. So this is the card I've decided to use. Now this is a plain square 7 by 7 inch card, so, and I'm going to have it opening this way so you can see what I've got there. And the lighting is going to look a bit rubbish again, so I'm just going to keep that open and just keep playing with it a little, because that's better. Right, so we're going to go back to this one now. So that's your plain 7 by 7 card, and then what I've decided to do, so I'll show you the actual paper that I've decided to use for the main part of the card. And I'm sorry it's super bright in here today because it's super sunny. So I've decided to use this stripy pastel, purples, pinks, a little bit of grey in there, and this is from a paper stack that I just had on the shelf. So you'll go to your local craft shop and just pick up some paper stacks, and all I do is I just measure it roughly against the card, see how big of a gap I want on the edge, little pencil line, snip with your paper cutter, and there's your little square to go with your card. Now I've done the same with the layer, the purple layer that I want behind. I've done the same again, so I've just got a piece of plain purple paper from a paper stack, and I've done the same just by eye, snip, blah blah, and then that creates that lovely layered effect. So you get a lovely layered effect there. And then what I've also done is I've got a few, you always get when you cut in, so obviously papers usually can sometimes be a little bit bigger than card, and sometimes you get these little scrap pieces left over. So what I tend to do is I love using them to layer up with. So I've picked just this little a piece of that purple, and then just a piece of plain, a piece of one from another paper stack with loads of little hearts on it. And all I'm going to do is, I haven't cut this to size properly yet because I'll show you what I do at the end. So I'm going to put that onto there and give that a bit of a layered effect. Then what we're going to do is add our beautiful lady, and then we're going to add a few embellishments. So we'll get this stuck down, and then we'll add all the details to it, because I'm a bit of a thing, I tend to like to play with it when it's all down. So now I've got the layers there, I tend to add the embellishments at the end, because you can sort of play with them a bit and see where you want, and you can never quite decide until it's down, I find. So we'll stick all this down with double-sided tape and we'll go from there. So this will just take me a couple of minutes, but I'm just going to do it all from the start so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So this is just your bog standard double-sided tape. I usually get this from a craft shop. It's dead easy. You can either cut it with scissors or you can rip it. It's either way, but I just tend to rip it because it's nice and easy. Turn your top layer over. So I'll just take the card out of the way for a minute. So I've got my plain piece, and then I've got my other piece. So what I'm going to do is, I don't tend to use an awful lot because it does, and I just put a little piece in each corner like this. And I do apologise again for the light, because the sun keeps coming in and out. It does make it a bit thing. So I hope you're okay and you can see. So all I'm doing is just taking the layer off. And sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. So excuse me. There's always one that doesn't quite come off the way you want it to. So I'm just taking off those. Nearly there. That's 3. And our final one, that makes 4. And then all I do is just by eye, get your paper, line it up. So don't stick it down until you're sure that it's all lined up the way you want. And then when it is, it's just a case of just like that, and it's all stuck together. And then you've got your first layer. So then what I'll do is get my card back out, make sure it's the right way. So whether you want it to open this way or whether you want to open this way. So I'm going to have it open like a book this way. So we'll do the same again, just a little bit of tape. You don't need loads. If you're one of those people that likes it absolutely secure, yeah, you might need a little bit more, but I just tend to use a little bit and just put a little blob in each corner. So we'll do the same again. I'll just take those little tabs off the corner. Just bear with me, I keep fiddling with this just to try and get it right for you so you can see the best. And then so don't worry too much about how neat this is, the back, because obviously you're not going to see it. You can pull this off with tweezers if you prefer, but I just do it with my nails, it doesn't really matter. And what you do is obviously make sure that your paper's the right way, because obviously if you're doing a longer card, the paper will be a different shape. And all you do is do the same again. So just double check you've got it opening the right way. And then all you do is line it up, making sure not to stick it down until you're completely ready, and stick it down. And then there's your next layer. So now we've got the card, our background layer. Now we'll stick these two down, and I'll show you what I do with these. So with my longer pieces, I'm always a bit worried about cutting it too short. So this is the way that I found that works better. So again, double-sided tape on there, and then again, just get your longer strip. Line it up about where you want it, because you might want it a bit further that way, a bit further that way, however you want it. I want it quite central. So stick it down, and then a bit more on the back. You do find that double-sided tape is very cheap, so don't worry about how much you use. Like, I'm sure this roll was the best part of 50p, and you will go through a lot of it in card making. You do go through a lot. There's a lot of different types, there's a lot of different widths, but I just find bog standard, cheapy, it doesn't really matter because you're only sticking it down and they tend to work much of a muchness. So now get your card, line it up exactly where you want it, to try and get it as straight as you can, or however you want it. Obviously it's your card to have it however you want, and then just stick down. Now obviously you'll be able to see I've got a little bit of overhang, so what I tend to do is I just tend to open the card up, and you can see that I've got the two flaps here. So all I tend to do is just get a pair of scissors and just snip along, just because then you don't cut it too, you don't make it too short, because I find if I try and measure it sometimes I do it too short. And then that is all ready. I'll just zoom you out a little bit so you can see now. There we are, that's a bit better for you, isn't it? So you can see now, so I'll get rid of all my scraps out the way. So that is where we're up to now. So now I'll get my beautifully coloured lady and we'll put a bit of tape on the back of her now. Now, there is a different way. You can either do this with double-sided tape, or if you wanted it a bit more 3D, you could do it with something called foam pads. Now, if you do that with foam pads, they're little square pieces of foam, which will make it stand up off the page slightly. And actually, I may just get some of those, actually, to show you what they're like. I'm a little bit disorganised, so let me just get some out. I've got some just here. I might just do that, actually, because I've not put any colour on the back of her. I think I'll put her on in the 3D foam. So, these are your 3D foam pads, and they're basically, if you can see, just little square, they're like double-sided tape again. But all you literally do with these is you literally just stick them all over, and you can get them in different sizes. These are only diddy ones. You can get them bigger. I tend to waste a hell of a lot of these because I tend to buy the diddy ones. But you can buy them much bigger than this. They do come in all different sizes, so don't think, oh my god, that's going to take forever. It's just because these are the only ones I've got to hand. So all you do is stick them all over, and then you do the same again. You just peel the back off. And I don't know if I'll be able to show you what it looks like a bit 3D. I'll try and see if it works on the camera. It may, but it may not. They do get stuck to your fingers, these little bits. You end up with all sorts of little bits all stuck to your fingers. But that's the fun, isn't it? We're nearly there now. Just got the last couple off. Last one. There we are. And then that gives you, those little foam just give you a little bit of height on your card. So what you can do then is you literally, again, position, hold it, hover it above until you get it where you want, and down she goes. And then obviously don't press too hard on that, because you've obviously put foam pads all over the back of her. So don't press it too hard, because you'll end up squishing it or whatever. So then that is the basic outline. So using your double-sided tape and your foam pads. Okay, so I'll just brush all my rubbish out the way so you can't see that on the camera. You don't want to see that, do you? So I've chosen a little birthday embellishment to start with. Now I like getting these because they come with a foam pad on the back. They're nice and easy. They're already done for you. You can do them yourself. I just like these. I find them really handy. So they come on like on the back of a piece of like acetate, and I cut them out as I'm doing them. So I cut them off the acetate, and then it gives me a chance. I can just move it round and see where I want it. So I've got that, and then what I've also picked out is these little so there's little heart gems, there's little roses, and these are like quite hard, like plasticky sort of things. So we're going to put some of those on. And then I've got these lovely bows. So we're going to start putting the bow on, because I always like to put the sort of the bow on first. So we'll pick where we're going to put this, because I haven't decided yet. So these are supposed to be sticky at the back, but I don't think that that's going to work particularly well. So let's see if I put on one of these lovely square little foam pads that I've just used. And that should help to stick that down. So again, it's just a little bow with some little sequins on it. And again, all I tend to do is just go, oh, do I fancy it there, or do I want it there, or dun dun dun, and I just play with it. But I think I quite like it in the corner there. So I'm going to put it and I'm just going to just push it down, and there you go. And that's stuck. And then all I'm going to do is try and find where I want my embellishment to go. So I can't quite decide. Do I want it to go there, or do I want it? Can't quite decide, because I've made that a bit 3D. I might put it in that corner, actually. Might look quite nice in that corner. Yeah, let's put it in that corner. Or should we put it... to give it a bit of a... It always takes me ages to decide where I want to put these things. Or should we put it at the top up there? Yeah, let's put it at the... No, actually... No, let's stick with where we originally decided. Let's be this. So just peeling this off the back of the acetate. Get rid of the acetate, and then all you do is you just take it where you want it, and again just stick it down, and it's as easy as that. Okay, I think what we'll do is, I've got those now, so what I might do is get these out. And again, you can get these things from any craft shop, and they come just stuck on these little pieces of acetate. And they're really, really good because they're already like sort of stuck for you. So they're really, really good. So what I think I might do actually is I might do a little row like that, keep it like that, and do a little row of roses and gems down that middle piece. So all I'll do is just peel it off the back. So we'll do red, and they're dead easy these because they're already sticky. You just plonk them down like that. And I love things like this because they work so nicely, and they've already got that nice little bit of sticky on them that you can play with them dead good and dead easily. It doesn't matter if they're not quite in line, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, as long as you're happy with it. I'm just going to put some little red gems in between each one. Oops. And I just literally like to do this. I wouldn't have even thought of this until I got it down, but sometimes you just need to do it when it's done, and that's that. And that is literally finished. And that is how easily you can put your own little card together. And it's so easy, so simple, and they look great. So handmade cards can look so pretty, and that is just really, really sweet and simple. So again, like I've explained, the images from Scrappers Delights, I'll put their link in the description if you want to go over and have a look. And as I say, this will be going up as part of their challenge today. So if you go over to the Facebook page, they have all sorts of new releases, challenges, different bits and bobs. So please go on and have a look, because the work is absolutely fabulous and their stamps are absolutely stunning. And I can't thank them enough for making me part of their design team. So there we are. She's all finished. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I will speak to you all again very, very soon. Lots of love, everyone. Thank you very much. Take care now. Bye bye.